Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of the Stephen King podcast. A lot of things has happened since our last podcast, mainly Dark Tower stuff, so we'll come to that in news. As usual, Louis with me here on my right side, I almost said, but you're my virtual side.
My virtual, yes, your virtual right hand. Here yes. I am. Hello everyone. Hello constant listeners.
So let's kick off with the news.
Welcome. Do not fear the door that lies before you. We will protect you. We are your guides, Hans and Lou, and we will give you the latest in Stephen King news. But before we do so, you must prove yourself worthy. You must open the door and join us in the DeathRoom.
And first off, today is something quite interesting. There will be an art show with a Stephen King theme. There will be paintings from different artists, and they will show their interpretations of different King stuff. And this will be shown. It starts actually today. I think it's May. No, sorry, it started on Friday, May 5th, and will run until May 27th. So you will have a good chance to see it if you want to do. It's in Los Angeles. If you head over to my site, you can see some pictures there. There's one that I think is really cool about Randall Flagg.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's one of Cujo that they are taking their liberties with Cujo, definitely. Let's say that. And one of Stephen King as well, sitting by the typewriter. And there's also a link to another page where you can see a lot more of them. And this is actually something that I wish I could have attended, because I think this is going to be really cool stuff shown there, where the artists have their own interpretation of different Stephen King related items.
Yeah, there's a wide variety of art styles on display that you've got up on your site, and yeah, they're pretty cool. I really like the Randall Flagg one too. Plus, I just like the it's got the "Don't Fear the Reaper" lyrics underneath them as well. So underneath his outstretched, burning hand. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think this. I don't know if these paintings are going to be for sale after the show or something like that. But if so, there's definitely a few that I would consider having on my wall at home.
Absolutely. Okay, next up is on TV, and I guess as we're recording this today, which is Sunday, May 5th, NTV tweeted that they will be having a exclusive sneak peek of the It movie. So that's tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. By the time this podcast comes out, it'll be too late for you guys. But if any of you are watching it later on, let us know what you think of it.
Exactly, and it's interesting. There's been speculation if this will be a new trailer or if this will be just a little clip or something like that. So that will be interesting to see. Next up is something for a movie that we haven't heard a lot about, 1922. We know that it's been done and we know it's for Netflix, but I must say that in today's internet age, I'm very surprised that we haven't heard more about this one compared to all the other movies. This one has really gone under the radar. But what we have heard now is that Mike Patton, who is the lead singer of Faith No More, actually did the score for it. So,
interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. Are you a fan of Faith No More?
Yeah, they got a couple of good songs. I mean, I don't mind them.
Yeah. So that's promising for this one. And as I said, we don't know much more about it, that it's a Netflix item. No premiere date, hopefully this year. And that's about it.
Yeah, well, that's cool. I mean, pulling in it's quite common now, I think, for artists from to stretch out into other medium, and so it'll be interesting to see what a person like Mike Patton, who's been just basically with a rock band, is going to stretch out and do some music composing. But he's not the first one to do that, and there have been good results with other people that have done the same thing as him. So I'm very interested to see what he comes out with. And he says it's more haunting and Hitchcocky than you might think, which is interesting. Because I could see that happening for that type of story with the rats and the wall thing. So that should be interesting.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Oh, how did this happen to me? No.
Well,
Is that Malachi's sister? I don't know. You could go to Hans's site. You can see the picture for, I guess one of the main characters of another Children of the Corn movie. I just cannot believe this. This is just unreal. This one's called Children of the Corn Runaway. Is that like that Dion song, My Little Runaway?
Yep.
Anyhow, the synopsis says, the plot of the Children of the Corn Runaway follows a young pregnant Ruth who escapes a murderous child cult in a small Midwestern town. She spends the next decade living anonymously in an attempt to spare her son the horrors that she experienced as a child. She lands in the small local hometown, but something is following her. Now she must confront this evil or lose her child. So, yeah, what can I say? It's a
blockbuster.
It's a blockbuster. It's straying far from the cornfields for this one.
Yeah.
But she's coming back. I wonder if these two cults talk to each other from the Midwest to Oklahoma. So, I mean, it's got a picture of a girl that looks a lot like Malachi, but she's got ponytails.
Yep.
She's dressed in a black dress skirt outfit. She's got the Quaker hat on, and she's holding a very ominous, blood-stained, spackled scythe in one hand. So if Children of the Corn is your jam, then there's another one on its way for you. Straight to DVD, which probably tells you how good it's going to be.
Yeah, but you think that sometimes, with so many tries that they have with this one, sometimes they have to get it right. So
you would think so.
Maybe this is
you would think so.
Well, we're gonna have a Children of the Corn marathon here as well.
Oh yes,
watch them all.
To that. Yeah.
And I've heard, I read some comments about why they do these sequels, and as I have understand it, is that the company who owns the rights to do these movies, they need to do a new movie in a number of years. They can't wait too long because then they will lose the rights to the franchise. So I think that's why and it's the same company, is it Dimension, I think, who do the Hellraiser movies.
Oh, okay.
So, and it's the same there, that there's a new Hellraiser coming as well. And I think they have that in the contract that they need to do a new movie each, I don't know, X number of years. And if they don't, they lose the rights to it and it goes back to whoever owned it before them.
Right. That's a fairly common situation. I mean, Sony has that same issue or relationship with Marvel with the Spider-Man movies. They have to do a Spider-Man movie every so many years or else they revert back to Marvel. So I can understand why Sony would be eager to keep the Spider-Man franchise going. I just can't understand why Dimension Films is eager to keep the Children of the Corn franchise going. Like, are they expecting it to turn into some major thing down the road? Like, I just don't see... they must be making money on it. Yeah. Otherwise, they wouldn't keep doing it.
No, but imagine it's probably pretty cheap to do, and not very good special effects, maybe not the best script writers and the actors and actresses. And I mean, every diehard fan King will watch this one, I believe. I mean, even though
not everyone.
You're gonna watch it. And even though we know that it probably won't be as good as we would hope it would be. I mean, it's a Stephen King item and those sell, so probably they make money of them and earn more than they cost to make. So even though they are not blockbusters, they probably earn what they cost to make. So they make a profit of them, and so they do it.
I agree that they must be making money on it because, I mean, movie studios are not charities. I still can't believe that the return on these kind of movies is that great. But I don't know. There's a market for these kind of low-budget horror films, and with all the streaming outlets that are available today, I guess it's even greater.
Yeah. Okay, moving into the book section, Gwendy's Button Box has actually been moved up for 2 weeks. The new release date is May 16 instead of May 30. So there's only 9 days from when we record this until we have the book in the stores. So that's really good news.
Wow, that really snuck up on us.
Yeah, it did. So that's great. And you can also get the audio version on May 16th, released from Simon & Schuster. And if you want to go the extra length and get a special edition of the book, there is something called the Nocturial Reader's Box. And I actually hadn't heard about this until just recently. But what they do is they take, it's like a subscription, or you buy a box and you get, they have different themes. And this time it's a Stephen King Wendy's Button Box theme. And we'll get that book, and you will get another book, and you will get other interesting items. I actually know a few of them, but I can't reveal them yet. So, and this edition of Gwendy's Button Box actually have a different cover as well. So for those of you who want, and this one is done in, I think, 1,500 copies. So there will only be 1,500 copies made of this, and I don't know if, I think they might have sold out already. So if you haven't gotten it, maybe you can't get it from them.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I've just went to the site, and the Stephen King's box is coming up on the page, but you have to sign up. And then since I've already signed up, I can't find out whether or not if I try to sign up if I'm going to get the sorry we're sold out message or not, because I tried to do that for the previous month, and I was getting that message, or before they opened it up for this month's new subscriptions, I was getting that message that you couldn't sign up, but there still might be a chance.
Yep.
And the variant cover looks really cool.
Yeah.
There's a blowing hat. I don't know if that fits into the story. I haven't read it yet, but that looks pretty cool. And I understand there's going to be a lot of other Stephen King. It's the whole box is going to be Stephen King related. So I'm very curious as to what the other items are going to be. And yeah, this could be the start of a regular thing, because I've looked at their previous boxes and they're also very cool. I think the last box actually had a Overlook Hotel drinking glass in it, which is cool.
Yeah, and I believe sometimes they have signed books as well. Not with this one though, but other books, some of them are signed. Of the 1,500, maybe, I don't know, a couple of hundred are signed or something like that. So, but as you mentioned, I think on their site they have some unboxing of previous boxes. So that should give you an idea of what to expect from this box, even though they have other themes on those boxes. But it gives you an idea what's going to be in this. And you have one coming and I have one coming, so we will definitely be checking this out in details. And
absolutely,
it will be interesting to see if we get the same stuff. I don't know if there's difference between the boxes, or I know that when they have signed stuff that there's sometimes
limited number.
Not all are signed. So
okay. I see. Okay.
Yeah. So I think that then you can get lucky and get signed, but I don't think that's the case with this one. So
okay.
But we'll compare and look through it when we get them, and I think they will be sent out this month. I think so, probably sometime early June or so we will have them. Yeah,
so we'll have to wait extra long, because if the regular version's coming out in the middle of the month, we probably won't get it till like a month later. So
yeah. Are you getting the regular book as well, or?
No, I canceled my order for that once I saw this. So.
Okay. It will be a hard extra weeks to wait.
Yes, it will be. Okay. Next up, still in the book news, is Cemetery Dance is releasing a limited sign edition of the King Tandem creation, the Sleeping Beauties book, and they have a limited signed edition coming out. You can see it on Hans's site. It's May 2nd article. Some beautiful drawings, especially an interesting one, which is a moth that has eyes in the wing and hands for feet, and tree roots growing out of its head instead of antennae. So that's cool. And then there's another one with a woman with what looks like a rabbit's head covering half her face. So if you're a collector, check out the Cemetery Dance site. Links up at Hans's site. There will only be 750 of these illustrated copies.
Yeah, and I think that the unsigned edition is the only one that's actually left copies of. Because you have oversized hardcover lettered edition, 52 copies, that will cost $2,500, and that's for each. And you have a tray-cased oversized hardcover signed limited edition of 850 copies, and that one costs $475. And then you have a oversized hardcover gift edition, 1,750 editions, and that one is not signed, and that costs $25. And if you look at their site, it's only the one for $125 that's left. The other ones has already sold out. So that's what you have. I don't know. I would have loved the signed one, but I can't afford it. And since, as you know as well, living outside the US, you have to double the price almost to get the postage and insurance to have it shipped and stuff like that. And well, it's more money than I can afford to pay for a book, I'm afraid.
Same here.
Yeah. But I'm sure they will be very beautiful, and hopefully we will see more illustrations online once the book is released.
Yeah.
Okay, and the next news is actually King connected, but I think it's well worth mentioning, and that is that his son, Joe Hill, is having a new book out called Strange Weathers, and this one will have four longer short stories, I guess.
Yeah, this sounds awfully familiar to another book, don't you think?
Definitely. And there's actually an excerpt from one of the stories online that you can read. I don't know if you have read it. I've read it, and I was really intrigued by it. So I will definitely get this one.
Absolutely.
It is released on October 24th.
Oh, Halloween.
Yeah, and I know also that if you are looking to get a signed copy, I read that Weatherstone, I think, you might have to Google this, but Weatherstone actually took orders for a signed one, and I think you paid the $30 that the book cost, so I don't think that it was actually any extra money for the signing. So that might be worth checking out, and of course, if you, again, live outside the US, you have to put another $30 down for the shipment or something like that. But if you want a signed Joe Hill book, that could definitely be worth checking out.
Absolutely. And as I was mentioning just previously there, that this Strange Weather with 4 short novels sounds a lot like Stephen King's Different Seasons with 4 short novels.
Yeah.
So, and it's interesting that each appendage of the character on the main page is turning into something else. One foot is turning into a bunch of skeletons, the other are skulls. The other one's turning into ravens. His left hand is on fire, and the right hand looks like it's turning into tree branches or something. So, and it looks like he's falling into a thinny or something like that. I don't know what that is, but yeah, it looks pretty cool. I think we're all big Joe Hill fans here as well. So I'm definitely looking forward to reading this collection of short novels.
Speaking of thinny, and since we're going to talk about the Dark Tower a little bit, would you like him to branch into the Dark Tower and connect stuff to that?
That's interesting. So, like, not just a King multiverse, but a King family multiverse.
Yeah.
And then Owen could book up his stuff too. Maybe I don't know. I wouldn't be. I guess I would just have to see how it would be done. But it would, if it's kept sort of like peripheral, like Easter egg kind of stuff, I think I would be okay with that. But if he starts going in and really getting involved with the stuff that his father's done, I don't think I would like that as much. But I don't mind. I like the references, the Easter egg kind of approach. That's fine.
Yeah, I agree totally with you. An Easter egg, that's just a little bonus for us who reads both authors. But I don't want him to branch into it because I think he's good on his own, and I think that he deserves to have his own work and not being connected to the Dark Tower. Actually, I think he should create his own stuff.
Yeah, and I don't think as a writer, a creative person, he would want to just co-opt his dad's work. He'd want to do his own original stuff too. So
yeah. Okay, so let's move into this episode's big news item. Mm-hmm. The Dark Tower trailer is finally here.
Woohoo!
Yay!
So what was your quick reaction on seeing it, Hans?
My first reaction was that it was so much better than the leaked one.
Yes.
I actually checked the leaked one again, and I can understand why they did this one instead. It's so much better, I think.
Yes, absolutely.
And it looks cool. I was impressed with it. I definitely like, as I mentioned to you earlier, where he loads his guns with a speed that's really impressive. And we know that from the books that he is fast loading. And I think it looks good. It looks promising. There's some stuff that I'm a bit hesitant to. Mm-hmm. But as we are actually doing after this podcast is recorded, a video podcast where we will go through the trailer frame by frame, almost, not really maybe, but almost. So we will go into details there. So you will have to hear all details over there. Here we're just skimming it a bit at the surface.
Yeah, I just have to say that this trailer, as trying to launch a new franchise, it had a different objective than the It trailer. The It trailer was able to play on our memories of the TV miniseries, and it used it quite well to do that. So the first half, it was just saying, "Hey, look, Pennywise is back, so let's see what we got here." This one that has the first half of this trailer has to do a lot of heavy lifting. It has to explain what gunslingers are, who the Man in Black is, what the Dark Tower is all about. And the big difference between this trailer and the other trailer, I watch a lot of trailer reactions. People going into the It trailer, like over 95% of the people knew what the story was about or knew who Pennywise was. In this case, for the Dark Tower, it was totally the opposite. 95 or plus percent of the people said, don't know anything about this. A lot of them didn't even know that Stephen King had written this series. So this trailer had to do a lot of heavy lifting to raise its profile. And I think that overall it did a fantastic job of introducing people that have never heard about this series before, setting out the scope of what the Dark Tower is all about. And then if people were still kind of hesitant, once Roland jumps into New York City and that heroic score starts pumping in and they see him fighting and how he can quickly re-roll his guns, a lot of people were like losing their minds by the end of the trailer. So I think I only saw one negative reaction out of that, and that was obviously from a book fan, which I think is going to happen. But overall, people who had never heard of this movie were being pulled in because of Idris Elba or Matthew McConaughey or because of both of them. And once they saw the trailer, they were just like losing their minds, said, "Oh, I got to see this." So I think this trailer, from that perspective, has done a fantastic job. And it's not getting the number of hits, not even close to what the It trailer got. But still, this is the beginning of spreading word of mouth. And I know that this trailer is out now in theaters. I assume it's being attached to movies like Guardians of the Galaxy, which is getting a lot of butts in the seat. So I imagine after this weekend, a lot of people that didn't know about the Dark Tower before now do know about it.
Yeah, and I agree. I think this is a great trailer for people who hasn't read the book.
Yeah.
And as with you, the negative stuff I've heard is definitely from people who have read the book and have opinions about that. And even people who I think a lot of people have decided that this is going to be a bad movie, and they're not even going to give it a chance. And I must say that what those people think, I couldn't care less about, because if you have decided that it's going to be bad without having seen it, then you better go and watch something else instead, I think.
Yeah, and there's lots of other things out there. Yeah. But as a King fan, I mean, this trailer and the It trailer, I mean, what a great time to be a Stephen King fan. Yeah. 2 fantastic trailers for 2 different projects. This movie, even though it was shot on a much smaller budget, like the It movie, actually, both of them look fantastic cinematically. I just loved how they look. And the thing that really came across to me, and we'll get into it in our detailed chat on the video podcast, is this movie looks really epic. Like, there's a lot more in there than I thought that they were going to be able to afford to show. And we'll talk about that more in our video cast. But I had goosebumps by the end when he was saying the Gunslinger's Creed out loud. I just thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. And with this trailer being released, the internet basically exploded with new stuff. We got 2 new posters for the movie, one showing Idris Elba and one showing Matthew McConaughey. I was expecting a third with Jake, but that never came. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. This is the good and the bad, so that might be it.
Yeah.
What did you think about those?
I don't mind them. I mean, it's kind of, Idris Elba looks kind of like he's doing a dance step or something like that. Maybe he's dancing the Come Kala or something like that. And it's interesting, and again, we'll get into it in a video chat, but in the poster, they really emphasize the highlighting on the gun.
Yeah.
The sigil of Arthur Eldon along the barrel. A little too much for my taste, but I guess this is a still picture. They want to emphasize this aspect of the guns, which are, when we see in the trailer, it's actually much more subtle, and I thought it was well done. But yeah, I mean, and the Matthew McConaughey one, it's the hot versus the cold, right? Roland's letters are blue, and Matthew McConaughey's letters are red, and there's embers flying around him. So not bad. In that particular costume pose, I think he should have been turned a little more to face the camera. Yeah. But other than that, subtle but good. I
think the idea is good, but as you say, the photos of them could have been a little better.
Yep.
And they also launched a official site for the movie, and there's not much there yet, but I guess there will be more as we come closer to the release date. And the address there is the darktower-movie.com.
Okay.
And you have the trailer, and well, you have some photos, and you have a cast list. So that it's not something to get overexcited about, but it's there, and you can check it out. And before we actually got confirmation that the trailer was going to be released the day before, because they posted short, I don't know what they called it. It was like a commercial banner for the trailer, a short clip with Jake, Roland, and the Man in Black.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that.
Ah, you haven't seen it? Okay. They just teased the trailer coming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And we also got, for those of you who collect action figures, we got better images and the price tag on those that we reported on earlier. There will be 2, which I prefer to call statue versions, that are, well, they just stand there and look cool, and you can watch them. And then you have the more action figures one that you can actually place different poses, and you can play with them, and you can have them running around, whichever you prefer. But the statue one will be $39.99, and the play versions, or what you want to call them, $22.99.
Posable.
So posable, yeah, exactly. So you can have them wrestling around.
Oh,
I must say that I think that they look kind of nice, actually. I don't think that the pictures that, if you head over to my site, are the really final ones, because they usually touch up or do some last changes just before they are released. So I think they might change a little bit, but I think they look kind of cool, and I wouldn't mind having them standing behind my books.
Yeah, I think they'll even look cooler once the movie's out and we've seen it, and then you can, in your mind, you can make that connection between what you're seeing as a figure in the movie.
Yeah, and stuff like this are usually very detailed.
Yeah,
and you can see on the picture of Roland in the statue version that you can see the bullets in his belt, and the robe is moving in the wind and stuff like that. So they're usually pretty good looking, these action figures.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, but you have to pay up for them, and again, probably order them from the US and have shipping costs and stuff like that. So, but if you don't know where to spend your money, this could be.
Yeah, I think they'll be available in Canada too. So I don't think that'll be the shipping cost issue will be quite as big with these, but we'll have to see.
Yeah.
One other thing that we don't have on the list here about the Dark Tower that I wanted to mention is the day before the trailer, and Hans, I'm sure you caught this too. Matthew McConaughey and Idris Elba were teasing each other in character, talking about chasing the tower, and then McConaughey dropped like a 15-second teaser, and then Elba responded, and he dropped his own 15-second teaser as well. So we got a little teaser of the trailer before the trailer came out the day before, which is pretty cool. But the really cool thing was, don't want to read too much into this, but Aaron Paul, who, if you know from Breaking Bad, and has been campaigning hard to be playing Eddie, also tweeted that congratulations to everyone, and he can't wait to see what they've put together. So I don't know if he's just making sure that, hey, Stephen King, I'm still out here, I'm still interested in playing Eddie or not. But I thought that was funny that he did that. So, or maybe he's letting fans kind of indirectly know that, hey, guess what? I'm in the next movie, but we'll have to see.
Yeah. Do you think that it was Matthew McConaughey and Idris Elba who posted those tweets, or do you think they have people doing it for them?
That's impossible to tell. I would think it's probably them, but there's no way of knowing that, right? I mean, people are saying that they did it for fun, but I think that obviously that they were probably contracted or paid to do it. Or maybe they just decided between the two of them. We don't know, but there had to be something with the studio, because they got those 15-second clips to release, which they just couldn't do on their own, even if they wanted to tweet about it. So and the timing was also indicating that it was planned. So absolutely,
but it was interesting, and I think
it was fun.
For our sake, we can say that it's them posting.
Yeah. For sure.
Okay, and that is the news for this time.
And so there you go, folks. That's another big Dark Tower episode for you. And remember, we will be putting up a video version of this. And actually, that will probably get up before this, just because I can't really edit that one as cleanly as I can the audio ones. So look for that on YouTube. We'll cross-link between this and the video one. So, as always,
Stay safe.
but
Stay scared.
cool. The end.
Yes.